Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And today we're taking a look at our episode, the Cutie map, which was previously called Cutie Marculus, but I guess they didn't want to spoil the episode, from what I presume. But, anyways, let's take a look at the episode. From what I can tell, this is actually a really good episode, but it's sort of like the near level that's on par with, like, the near levels of Return of Harmony. But, actually nearly as good as last season's episode, near last season's premiere, that good. So, last season we had Twilight get the new castle as before, and from what we can tell, this is going to be a new reoccurring thing, that her and her friends are going to be going all over the place solving, of course, friendship problems. And as we can tell, they're from the San Diego Comic-Con panel that we only got like one clip. They get sent to this random backward location that popped out of the ground from this castle that they get sent to, which for some reason didn't pop out of the Questro goals. Excuse me. They get sent to this location in the middle of nowhere, to this place where the train, where they meet this antagonist named Starlight Glimmer, if I remember her name correctly. And they meet this village in this ghost town where everybody has this near same cutie mark, which is, of course, an equal cutie mark. And what happened is that, and of course, this basically puzzles everyone. This puzzles the main six, but of course, Pinkie Pie is the only one that says, says that that suspects her, saying this seems out of the ordinary, like something out of the Twilight Zone or something like that, which is something I said in the Rift, like I said in the vlog for the Season 5 trailer and all the San Diego Comic-Con clips and all that, and apparently they get to meet the mayor of the town. What happened is that Starlight Glimmer gets to meet the main six, and they, of course, I'm not really good with trying to memorize all these two-parters. They get to talk with her for a bit, and they sing a song about how equalization is a good thing, and how difference is bad, which is sort of like something like the ESR, how like the SS, like something like the Soviet Union is something. I'm like, sort of like something in fear. I mean, I'm like, I don't know, it's like listening to the song, it's just like, yeah, I'm just like, was like hanging on to the edge of the seat, like, I mean, I'm not like, I'm like, yeah, no, I just like, I hate to live in that era. But I could try to see, probably know that, what history was like during that era. But I would only know from history books. But anyways, what winds up happening is that it turns out there's 3 people that are the only ones that don't want to live under the equalization laws. And they tell them all about the Cutie Mark Vault, as they get a tour of this sort of vault place. Starlight Glimmer asks them about this, how they know about it. And Pinkie Pie accidentally spills the beans. and he spills the beans about the place, as, of course, they wind up getting their cutie marks replaced, and thus they wind up getting thrown into prison, and thus ends the first part there. They wind up getting thrown into the prison, and, of course, when they get thrown into the prison, they wind up having, they have speakers thrown in there saying all this stuff about saying, you must be equal, equal is good, different is bad, all that good stuff, and just books about equal cutie marks, all that good stuff. This picture books about equalization. This difference is bad. It's stupid, but it's... And the cutie marks, it's different opinions, and it's just the cutie marks just flash. It's... I mean, even I don't understand that. I mean... And, it's just sort of... I mean... Okay, it's... I don't even know what to say. The strategy they come up with is that, Fluttershy, ever since day one, Fluttershy's been saying how nice the town has been, and they decide to throw Fluttershy into all of this, so they basically throw Fluttershy into all this mess, and, yeah, they basically say, you know, just have Fluttershy figure out how to get them out of this mess. And the one person that helped them out of this, they basically throw them into the rest of the 5. And Fluttershy basically finds out that Starlight Glimmer is basically a klutz. And they find out that actually she has a cutie mark of her own, and basically she just paints the equal cutie mark over her cutie mark. She doesn't have an equal one. So basically, she uses the same trick as in Magic Duel. You know, like, what's it? She just paints over it. Like, the magic trick. It's, yeah, like I said, it's been too long since I've seen those episodes. You know, I can't have headaches over those episodes. So what happens is that they try to, you know, imprison the... So next day they go in and they try to see if they... I'm trying to think. I swear, I ain't rushing these. They try to bust them out. They try to see if they succumb to the equalization, and they don't, and Fluttershy thinks that Twilight's overcome the thing, and Fluttershy basically pulls out a bucket of water and tries to throw it over Starlight Glimmer. However, she thinks that she misses. However, some water, you know, flies over her cutie mark, and it lands right dab in the middle. And part of her cutie mark winds up showing, and the rest of the town shows. The rest of the town finds out about this as they try to go to the vault and bust out the cutie marks. Twilight tries to like, motivate the entire town on the meaning of this, and Starlight basically interrupts it. Right, I'm like, and just literally, I'm like, you are just like, you're just mean, Starlight. I mean, literally, just throughout that, as soon as it hits the and of course, he, as the town goes over to bust out the cutie marks through the vault and Starlight Glimmer escapes, I'm just like, thinking about this, like, I mean, if she ever, like, you know, like, some, like, thing or whatever, I'm just like, you know what, I think that's, like, if I ever get inside that world, or, like, any sort of violent deals, I'm just like, you interrupt princess things, I break skulls. Because you do not And I repeat, you do not interrupt princesses. You mess with royalty, I break skulls. And I mean that. 'Cause royalty, you do not want to mess with that. But now that I've gotten that out of the way, because trust me, I mean, Starlight Glimmer, I mean, she's just like, I mean, she's just, anyways, she tries to escape with the main six's cutie marks, but she obviously doesn't get too very far with the, as the main six's cutie mark, as the other main six clones, well, I'm guessing, like, as the main six clones, which are, oddly enough, like, the different clones, help the main six out with, catching up with Starlight Glimmer, as they catch up with getting the, cutie marks, as the main six, of course, get back their cutie marks, as Starlight Glimmer is broken free, and of course, the Wilhelm Scream, although it wasn't used for a action moment, it gets a water shot. And of course, the cutie mark. And of course, everyone lives happily ever after. As for Season 5, it had a decent premiere. And of course, what do I think of Season 5? Well, good luck interrupting that shot motorcycle. Season 5, the premiere, is it good or bad? Well, I do have to say this much. Season 5 had a decent premiere, per se. I mean, it had its decent shock value. I mean, it had, like, a lot of, like, Russian, like, sort of type of deal. I mean, SS type of deal. Like, Russian 80s type of deal. I mean, I want to take a look more and more into this, like, Russian type of thing. And, yeah, it's starting to become more and more interesting as time goes on. And to all those down at BabsCon, I mean, you're pretty lucky. I mean, I wish I was down there just with you guys to see this premiere. But, I mean, overall, the premiere was pretty good, and yeah, it is a pretty good premiere. And overall, it is pretty nice too. Pretty good premiere, and overall, it does get the final rating that it deserves. I mean, it is the above premiere levels of Return of Harmony. It is worth the rewatch values of A Candlelight Wedding and Princess Twilight Sparkle. It's way better than Crystal Empire, and definitely has the rewatch values of, Twilight's Kingdom. And I definitely look forward to what's in store for Season 5. And Cutie Mark Magic, hopefully, Season 5, I look forward to seeing what you have in store. As for me, I'm the FiM Guy, and I'll see you guys next week for what's in store for a Slice of Life episode. Goodbye.